It's been more than a year since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And while the war is on the other side of the world, the fallout has been felt worldwide. Nick Maimer, a veteran from Boise, was reportedly killed in eastern Ukraine yesterday. Our Jude Binkley talked with one of Nick's friends and a fellow Special Forces member who worked alongside him in Ukraine. Jude, what'd you learn?
Morgan, Nick Maimer was a Green Beret who went to Ukraine when the war started to help evacuate people and provide aid. And he stayed there, doing what he loved until the end.
We just saw an opportunity to help the citizens of Ukraine that were embattled.
An opportunity Perry Blackburn says 45-year-old Nick Maimer jumped on to provide humanitarian aid to Ukraine after Russia invaded.
And I linked up with another former Green Beret named Perry Blackburn.
The pair began working together after they met in Kyiv.
Our primary purpose initially was to help evacuations, and then it became pretty clear really quick that they needed more in the areas that were controlled by the Russians.
Blackburn describes Nick as down-to-earth, artsy, a local DJ in Boise, and always ready to be there for others.
Nick was one of those guys that you run into very rarely in life. He was willing to do anything for the cause to help someone else.
Nicholas.
This video circulating online of Russian troops finding a body and going through Nick's IDs is how Blackburn found out Nick had died.
Everybody that knows Nick knows that he was certainly there trying to do his best to help people.
How would you like the world to remember Nick Maimer?
As a great humanitarian, as a guy that wanted other people to be successful, as a guy that was able to work with so many different people and to just generate energy in his desires to help people.
U.S. Senator Jim Risch met with Nick last summer in Kyiv. After the reports of his death, Senator Risch put out this statement saying, in part, he had a clear understanding that the Ukrainians are fighting today for what our founding fathers fought for in 1776. In our conversation, it was clear Nick was exceptionally well trained for and sober about the realities of the war in Ukraine.
And he was willing to do that, sacrifice his time and now his life in pursuit of helping others.
The U.S. State Department told us they're aware of reports of a death in that region. A spokesperson told us their message is that U.S. citizens shouldn't travel to Ukraine, that any U.S. citizens in Ukraine should leave if it's safe to do so. Morgan Blackburn said they're working to get Nick returned home into his final resting place here in Idaho.
All right, Jude, thank you.